The radio tower stood tall against the desolate backdrop of silver pines, a silent sentinel watching over the forgotten town. A relic of a bygone era, it whispered secrets of a time when it was the lifeline of communication. Its steel frame, rusted and withered, was a stark contrast to the lush greenery surrounding it, nature reclaiming what was once hers. The town had long abandoned the tower, its purpose lost to time, its stories buried under layers of neglect. Yet an unsettling silence hung around it, as if the air itself held its breath, waiting for something to break the stillness. An invisible perimeter of forgotten stories, shrouded in mist and mystery, encircled the tower.
I had an ear for the unheard, a curiosity that drove me to seek out the whispers of the past. A fascination for the forgotten frequencies that whispered tales of the past, stories that were waiting to be rediscovered.
Armed with her trusty recorder and a backpack full of equipment, Lila ventured into the heart of the abandoned structure, determined to uncover its secrets. The air was thick with the scent of decay, and the silence was deafening, each step echoing through the empty halls.
The control room. It's like stepping into a time capsule, frozen in the moment it was last used. Dust-caked surfaces and cobwebs everywhere, a testament to the years of abandonment.
As she turned on her receiver, a low hum vibrated through the room, a sound that seemed to come from another time. It was faint, almost imperceptible, like a ghostly whisper from the past. A shiver ran down her spine, the air growing colder as the signal grew stronger. This was no ordinary interference, it was a connection to a time long forgotten. This was a signal from the past, a bridge between the present and the echoes of history. The signal was erratic, a jumble of distorted sounds and whispers, like a ghostly symphony trying to break through the veil of time. Lila listened intently, her fingers dancing across the dials, trying to isolate the source. Each twist and turn of the knob brought a new wave of static, a new fragment of the mysterious transmission. The hum intensified, morphing into a garbled voice. It was as if the past was trying to communicate, to tell its story through the crackling airwaves. It was a man's voice, filled with fear and desperation. His words were barely discernible, but the emotion was unmistakable. Then, just as suddenly, it was gone. The silence that followed was deafening, a stark contrast to the chaotic noise that had preceded it.
What was that? It sounded terrified. The fear in the voice had sent chills down her spine.
Lila was both terrified and intrigued. The mystery of the voice pulled her in, compelling her to uncover the truth behind the haunting transmission. The voice seemed to emanate from the tower itself, trapped within its rusted metal bones. The old radio tower stood as a silent sentinel guarding its secrets. She spent days reviewing the recordings, each playback revealing a new layer of the chilling narrative. The more she listened, the more she felt connected to the voice, as if it was guiding her. The voice belonged to Victor Kane, a radio DJ who had mysteriously disappeared in the 1960s. His disappearance had been the talk of the town for decades.
"Help me, please, anyone." The plea was faint, but it echoed in her mind, haunting her thoughts.
The townsfolk had always believed Victor's disappearance was a publicity stunt gone wrong. They had dismissed the rumors and moved on, but the signal suggested a different story. But the signal suggested a more sinister truth. It hinted at a dark secret buried beneath layers of time and silence. Lila delved deeper into the town's archives, piecing together fragments of information about Victor and his last broadcast. Each document she uncovered added a new piece to the puzzle. A storm had raged that night, they said, the likes of which Silver Pines had never seen. The storm had knocked out power and communication, leaving the town isolated. The radio signal had cut off abruptly, leaving behind an eerie silence. The sudden end to the broadcast had left many questions unanswered.
This tower, it holds a dark secret. The weight of its history seemed to press down on her, urging her to uncover the truth. I can feel it in my bones. The sense of foreboding was almost tangible, a heavy presence that lingered in the air.
She decided to explore further, driven by a need to understand the mystery that had ensnared her. Venturing into the depths of the abandoned structure, she felt the weight of history pressing down on her. The air was thick with the scent of decay and forgotten memories. Each step she took was met with an echoing silence, a stark reminder of the emptiness that surrounded her, a reminder of the tragedy that had transpired within these walls. The faded and decaying walls seemed to whisper secrets of the past, urging her to uncover the truth.